All right, let's talk about cross rates. Cross rates are the idea that you can take any three currencies, and if you know the ratio of one currency to another and a ratio of one currency to another as well, another again, you can infer about what this one is relative to. This one would be relative to, say, this one. And as a tangible example, suppose we have three different currencies that we're looking at. The Mexican peso versus US dollar and the euro versus the US dollar. The Mexican peso currently offering 12.48 pesos for every $1. And the euro versus the USD, 75.75 euros is equal to $1. And as a quick reminder, we can always go from one to the other. So if you wanted to go from euro to USD back to USD to euro, then we just take one divided by that number, the number on top, 0.75. That gives us 1.33 USD per 1 euro. But the idea here is that if we know what the ratio of it is to Mexican pesos versus the USD, then we can use that as well as the ratio of what the euro is versus the USD to figure out what the ratio is to, say, the Mexican peso versus the euro. And all we have to do for that mathematically, since the two have the same denominator, is we just take one and divide it by the other. We just have to make sure whatever format we use, that the USD or whatever common currency is on the bottom. So in this case, that's done for us here already. The Mexican peso versus the USD is 12.48. And the euro versus the USD is 0.75. And so the cross rate, the Mexican peso versus the euro, is equal to 16.64 Mexican pesos for every 1 euro. And logically, that kind of makes sense. 1 euro buys more pesos than $1 buys more pesos. And we can see that makes sense because $1 buys fewer euros. And so the euro is sort of trading at this higher ratio multiple. And that's just how we can kind of check our work here and make sure that it makes logical sense.